How do you say have in French? Prendre versus avoir. The verb prendre means to take in French, but sometimes it can mean to have. Prendre, to take. The literal meaning of the verb prendre is to take. Je vais prendre ça avec moi. Je vais prendre ça avec moi. I'm going to take that with me. Voulez-vous prendre le bus? Voulez-vous prendre le bus? Do you want to take the bus? Tu peux prendre la deuxième rue à gauche. Tu peux prendre la deuxième rue à gauche. You can take the second road on the left. However, when you're talking about food and drink, you can use prendre to mean to have. Prendre, to have. If you're talking about food and drink, you can use the verb prendre to mean to have. If you think about it more as being like intake, you can imagine that when you eat or drink something, you take it into your body. Au petit déjeuner, je prends des céréales et des fruits. Au petit déjeuner, je prends des céréales et des fruits. At breakfast, I have cereal and fruit. Je vais prendre un café. Je vais prendre un café. I'm going to have a coffee. J'ai pris une boisson et un biscuit. J'ai pris une boisson et un biscuit. I had a drink and a biscuit. Veux-tu prendre un verre? Veux-tu prendre un verre? Do you want to get a drink? If you're ordering something to eat or drink, a really common way to do it in French is simply to say je prends, followed by what you want. It literally means I take, but it's a very common way to order. Moi, je prends un vin rouge, s'il vous plaît. Moi, je prends un vin rouge, s'il vous plaît. I'll have a red wine, please. Or you can also say je vais prendre, which literally means I'm going to have. Je vais prendre le poulet. Je vais prendre le poulet. I'm going to have the chicken. Je vais prendre le plat du jour. Je vais prendre le plat du jour. I'm going to have the dish of the day. Let's have a quick look at the present tense and past tense conjugations of the verb prendre. So prendre means to take, and in the present tense we get je prends, meaning I take or I'm taking. Tu prends, which means you take or you're taking. Il prend, he takes or he's taking. Elle prend, she takes or she's taking. Nous prenons, we take or we're taking. Vous prenez, you take or you're taking. And ils prennent, they take or they're taking. In the past tense, we get j'ai pris, I took or I've taken. Tu as pris, you took or you've taken. Il a pris, he took or he's taken. Elle a pris, she took or she's taken. Nous avons pris, we took or we've taken. Vous avez pris, you took or you've taken. Ils ont pris, they took or they've taken. Avoir, to have. In English, we can use the verb have as a way of saying that you're eating or drinking something. For example, I'm having a glass of wine. I'm going to have a pizza. I had spaghetti bolognese last night. In French, however, you cannot use avoir to mean that you're eating or drinking. Either you can use the verbs manger, which means to eat, or boire, meaning to drink, or, as we have just discussed, you can use the verb prendre, which literally means to take. Je prends un verre de vin. Je prends un verre de vin. I'm having a glass of wine. Je vais prendre une pizza. Or je vais manger une pizza. I'm going to have a pizza. J'ai pris des spaghettis à la bolognaise hier soir. Or j'ai mangé des spaghettis à la bolognaise hier soir. I had spaghetti bolognese last night. If you're not talking about food and drink, however, you can use avoir to mean to have. Let's have a quick look at the present tense and past tense conjugations of the verb avoir. So avoir means to have, and in the present tense we get j'ai, which can mean I have or I'm having. Tu as, you have or you're having. Il a, he has or he's having. Elle a, she has or she's having. Nous avons means we have or we're having. Vous avez, you have or you're having. Ils ont, they have or they're having. And then in the past tense we have j'avais, which means I had. Tu avais, you had. Il avait, he had. Elle avait, she had. Nous avions, we had. Vous aviez, you had. And ils avaient, they had. Let's have a look at a few example sentences using different forms of avoir. Il a une grande maison. Il a une grande maison. He has a big house. Elle a beaucoup de livres. Elle a beaucoup de livres. She has lots of books. Pierre a une très forte personnalité. Pierre a une très forte personnalité. Pierre has a very strong personality. Ils ont 2 filles et un fils. Ils ont 2 filles et un fils. They have 2 daughters and a son. Nous avions une maison à la campagne. Nous avions une maison à la campagne. We used to have a house in the country. Can I have 2 coffees? If you're ordering yourself a coffee, in French, you ought to use the verb prendre. Puis-je prendre un café? Puis-je prendre un café? Can I have a coffee? But if you want to order 2 coffees, you can use avoir. But why? Well, the verb prendre is used if you're ordering something you're going to eat or drink yourself. However, if you're ordering 2 coffees, at least one of them is most probably for somebody else. So you can use the verb avoir rather than prendre, since you're not going to be intaking both of them. Puis-je avoir 2 cafés? Puis-je avoir 2 cafés? Can I have 2 coffees? Now, don't worry if you get these verbs wrong. You'll still be perfectly understood. However, if you'd rather avoid them altogether, just say this. 2 cafés, s'il vous plaît. 2 cafés, s'il vous plaît. 2 coffees, please. If you found this video useful, please consider pressing the like button, or as the French say, le bouton j'aime. Or in fact they tend to say, mettez un petit pouce levé, which means put a little thumbs up. Or you might even be so kind as to subscribe, s'abonner, as it really helps this channel to grow and reach a wider audience. Merci.